Hello and welcome to News Liver Sports. I'm Moses Echodo, and with me, Creed, Brian Mugabe, and of course that is Ed Komagoma. And we're going to be discussing a bit of local sports right now, and major interest, that is the Victoria Cup that has Uganda, Kenya, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and then of course we have the Uganda National Basketball League that is actually also coming to a conclusion in the second round. So the regular season is coming to an end, and then we get into the serious business of the players. So we'll start with rugby. Ed, coach that is Robert Seguya made call-ups for the team that is going to play against Zambia in today's game. That's going to be at Uganda Rugby Grounds. And in the backs, I'm sure you've heard the names Aaron Oferoth, you have that is Paul Epilo, Ivan Magomu, you have Eric Mula, Michael Korach, Ian Munywanyi, Philip Wokorach, then you have Daudi Semwami, you have Adrian Casito, and then of course they brought back that is Justin Kimono into that backline. And then in the forwards, that's why you have Santos Senteza, you have Saul Chivumbi, you have Colin Chimbowa, you have that is Asman Mugera, who is the captain of the team. Then you have Faraji Odugu, you have Joseph Kajimu, you have Mike Oto, Simon Olet, and then of course Charles Uhuru, Brian Asaba, and then Ogena, Desire Ayena, and then Elifaz Emo. What do you make of this team? Do you think that this is a team that can actually help us to push and get a win against Zambia rather? Because we really need a win because we lost the first game to Zimbabwe, where we lost 3 tries in the first 19 minutes of the game, and then we tried to do a bit of catch up in the second half. Do you think that this team that has been called by Coach Robert can do the job?
Yeah, definitely. For anyone who knows Coach Sogi, of course, you must think he's definitely going to try and make the corrections. For the wrongs we had, especially in the game against Zimbabwe, our last home game, our previous other game at home. And then when you also look into the fact that this is our last home game, then definitely you've got to expect Uganda, to walk away with all points. Probably bonus point if they can, definitely in there. But then you've also got to look at the opposition on the day. Now you're looking at a Zambia side, that lost their last 2 games as well. They lost to Zimbabwe, they lost to Kenya. So clearly the writings of a beating on this team are there. So the Ugandan players definitely must be licking their lips and fancying their chances that, guys, yes, let's put what has happened in the past, because clearly they began this tournament on a high. You remember the 16-13 win in Kisumu. Then Kenya came here, ran us over, and the previous game before this one. So we have lost 2 home games, and I believe Coach Sog is going to be trying to make amends in there, of course. Yeah,
of course we've seen we saw that Justin Kimono was missing in that first 2 games against Kenya, and of course the game against Zimbabwe. He comes back in here. Does he offer that diversity in terms of the flanks? Because on the other hand, you'd have Philip Okorach, and on the other hand, you'd have that is Justin Kimono. How much of an importance is that for Coach Seguya?
Of course, it's hard to find any winger in Uganda Rugby who can really give Justin Kimono, a run for his money, outside of maybe Lawrence Sebuliba. And of course, Lawrence Sebuliba, I think, has also been injured because he's not been featured that much in the last 18 months or so. So clearly, Justin Kimono comes back into the team. It's his first game this year on the team. He's also had these problems with injuries, but we can only wish the lad the best. We know on his day he is one of the quickest wingers. He's going to give Uganda that thrust, of course, going down the wing, and his handling is so good. He has good sight. His feet, he works his feet so well. So it gives Uganda that much needed impetus going forward, because you've seen we have a really, our pack is really solid, as you've mentioned some of the names in there. Of course, skippered by Asman Mugera. There, but then our challenges or our problems have always stemmed from the back. Our offloading has not really been, the best. Our lineouts, we've always lost several of the lineouts in there. You get to, so what Kimono adds to this backline definitely is going to count for so much in this game.
All right, of course, that is the game that is going to be on today at Uganda Rugby Grounds, and we're definitely wishing the boys the very best of luck against Zambia, and hopefully they can pick up that win, help us, and then of course we go up against Kenya, and hopefully we can be able to pick up these wins before we can see how it goes. And with the return of the Victoria Cup, I believe that this is a long way in trying to improve on how the national team performs, and hopefully the national team can start getting back to soaring heights that we used to see in 2009.
Yeah. Speaking of soaring heights, our female team isn't doing any better either, because this week they have been in South Africa this past week, and Wow,
we've been getting
washed 85.
They've been in South Africa touring.
That is rude.
That is very rude.
We request it takes
But anyway,
but 85-5.
That was a
What the
thrashing.
Russians say? Yeah.
That's a thrashing.
It was.
Then of course Kenya also got the best of us again.
Yeah, of course.
39-5.
I mean, you lost forwards. You're definitely going to lose it forwards. It's a far cry from the 2019 that went to the World Cup. I remember that was staged in Dubai. Yeah. So I mean, it's a far cry. That team that had Charlotte Mudola, it had Christine Kizito, among of course some of the names. Now you're looking at the team. You're looking at people like Christina Anyang, who is the captain. You're looking at Peace Lekuru, who is the vice captain. I mean, it's some of the others. So clearly there is so much work to be done with the ladies team, but of course we can always wish them the best as patriotic citizens.
Of course we can also not write out the fact that this is the first time that the ladies are playing as a unit for the national colors after over 4 years. So
actually, that is actually a very good point, because many of the games have been playing have been in the 7th edition. Now here they are being forced to play in the 15th edition, which is more robust, which is 80 grueling minutes as opposed to the 14 minutes of the 7th edition. So you'll also think that has something to
play the role
in drumming that to receiving.
All right, that's of course rugby for you. And Creed, I bring you into this. The basketball league in Uganda is finally coming to a close. The regular play, and now we're going into the playoffs. That's a real period for business. What have you made of the regular season so far?
Well, of course, I should say there is a cow on the ice for most teams, especially teams like Warriors, Mochudai's Power as well. Power has played all their regular season games, and I think we have reached a period whereby Mochuda had nothing to do than to bite that bullet to make sure that Fame plays. Because if you remember the first games in the first round, Fame wasn't playing.
He was getting about 2-3 minutes of
exactly,
the game.
And he's actually the captain of the team. He wasn't really getting playing time. He's the captain of the team, and with the fans, as I've told you, you can sit back and mention a couple of things that we think coaches should do, but there's some obvious things that coaches should do. Because if you're playing 3 consecutive games and your team is not organized, and for those few minutes you've put on Fame to play, he's putting up a good fight, he's organizing the team, calling all those drills. Why don't you give him more playing time? It only happened during the second round of the season when I think he was like, you know what, I think Fame should continue playing. So they have played all their games, they have won 15, they have registered 7 losses in there. But I think despite everything that has been going on, the team selection, the rotations as well, even the gameplay as well, these are players that are really offensive-minded. The likes of Makala, you can see is this kind of player who doesn't watch where his rim is. Get the ball, run, try to shoot, try to pass, turn over the ball on very many occasions, and that's what they usually do without Fame on court.
I think that is where the biggest issues are, that everyone wants to be the one who is handling the ball. Everyone wants to be the point guard. There's really no person who is directing that ball. But we'll leave the Betway Power at that, because for them...
Before we leave them, I think just mention a few things I think they need to work on. Getting into the playoffs, rotating the ball and team selection as well. I think that Fame needs to play more. And then, of course, I think most players who are playing off the bench need to keep on scoring points, because you can't tell me if you have Samuel Agutu, you have Budi Nasa, and then Isaac Afidra off the bench and they are giving you a combined 7 points. Which kind of bench do you have? It doesn't really make sense. So I think they should put in more effort in terms of making points. At least if you know that on bench, if you have 20 plus points, that really works out for you, because you have your main team giving you the points, and even your bench will give you some of the points. So I think those are some of the things they need to work on. But they get into the playoffs at least on a high, 4 consecutive games. The last time they registered a loss was way back July 31st against City Oilers. So I think right now they're good to go.
UCU Cannons, Pemba Warriors. UCU Cannons have been absolutely impressive this campaign. Bunch of new young players in the team, but Coach Natu Hereza has been able to find a way of playing this team and getting the results with them. And they registered the win against City Oilers at the first round of the season. Of course, they lost in the second round. They beat up on the Pemba Warriors just recently.
Home and away,
very impressively. They have been beating up on the KIU Titans as well. They have been that team that just keeps on coming and shocking everyone.
Exactly.
What do you think has been the secret for Coach Natu Hereza on this side?
But Nick Natu Hereza, when you look at him, he's this kind of coach who will put up a good team in regular season, but getting to the playoffs, maybe after the semi-finals or even the quarter-finals, you can't see UCU anywhere. But looking at that team, I think what they have done this season is really a brilliant thing, because if you have at least one of the most experienced players in the league, not only in the team but in the league, Fadil Chuma, and then you've gotten these young players whereby at least they have been accommodated in the team in a way that everyone can get some playing time in there, and everyone who gets a chance to play at least scores points and plays good defense. Because to me, when I look at the way they played against Warriors, they actually played basic basketball, and Warriors wasn't anywhere to be seen. They get that ball, Faid rotates the ball, creates space, and make. Whereas they were not picking rebounds. They're not even making the points. The three-pointers were all off. And I think this is a problem for Warriors. If you remember, even last season in the playoffs, they couldn't play defense. And that's the reason why they were humiliated. And it's the same thing that has happened. Right now, they have lost 2 consecutive games. They're getting into the playoffs. They still have 3 more games to go, but you can't be rest assured if they're going to win them. Because getting into the playoffs, you need to make sure that at least you've won your games. You get into the playoffs with a better mentality to put up a good fight. So I think for Mutebi, he needs to work on his defense. You look at Stanley Mugira was off, Campbell as well wasn't thinking for the team. You look at most of their players, whereby you think they're the most important players of the team, they're not doing anything. Marco Pio as well. For UCU, I think right now they are good to go, but the only problem is when you look at UCU, they can create a team, but that team can't be there for the next 3 or 2 years.
Okay.
Simply because if you get done with campus, you're shipped off the team
to the next level. In 30 seconds, the men's league, what do you make of it?
Well, I think,
or who do you think will be the victor in the men's league?
I think there are 3 teams to me: City Oilers, UCU, and then surprisingly Warriors.
Okay. And the women's side, I think for me the women's side has been dominantly about the JKL Dolphins.
Of course, I mean JKL. We are looking at the Leopards. Look at some of the new teams, the new entrants in the league. You look at YMCA. You look at Mook Sparks. I mean, they lack players. Some of them during the first round, they were using less players compared to these other teams. Now, tell me why JKL can't play against you and they put in 100 points. So I think it's all about JKL, Leopards as well. A1 Challenge, they signed a couple of players in there, they have some experience, so I think they can as well put up a fight, but I don't see them winning the league.
All right. Of course, that is what we've had so far for you today in the Ugandan local sports, and we'll definitely come back sometime and talk about Ugandan Premier League as well. Discuss the football as it is growing, as it is getting destroyed, and all those things.
Actually, it kicks off next week on Thursday.
It kicks off next week on Thursday, on 24th of August. So we'll definitely be back here to discuss that and so much more. But for right now, it's me, Moses Sechodo, and the entire team, Creed, and that is Ed. And I'm saying, peace, be blessed, don't do what we would do over the weekend, and watch all the sports out there. Bye-bye.